Destination Mark.
Hey guys, how's it going? Marcelo here, and seeing as other people are making these kinds of videos, I'm doing it too. So, except that I had this idea for a video in my head for Smash Brothers for Switch for some time now. I just didn't know if I wanted to make it like another thoughts video or what. So then I thought, well, it's Smash Brothers 5, let's make it a top 5. So with that being said, these are the top 5 hopes that I have for Smash Switch. A lot of these do carry over from what I was expecting from the last game, but hopefully here it's a little bit more explained in detail, and yeah, so here we go. So number 5 is a little more personal and a little more, it's not as crazy or whatever, but like I really do hope that they get to strengthen the online connectivity for this game, because for whatever reason, I don't know why, starting with Brawl, it was Brawl and then Wii U, I've personally never really gotten a great connection to play online. And it's not just like a crappy connection or whatever, because even though my internet connection can sometimes get screwy and be dumb, and also with it being in my room with all the devices and electrical crap that I have in here, I don't know if, you know, it's just interference or what the hell's going on, but trying to play Smash Brothers like in this room to record for something or whatever, or even being in the living room where the modem is, it sometimes still for Smash Brothers, really, like just only Smash Brothers, it lags and it's all weird and the connections get cut like frequently, and Splatoon doesn't do that, Splatoon 2 it doesn't do that, Mario Kart Wii never did that, Deluxe never does it for Mario Kart 8, or regular Mario Kart 8 doesn't do that. So like those games I can play fluently, no real problems at all, no lag whatsoever for anything. So like for Smash Brothers, I don't know why it happens. It's weird. Hopefully they find some way to fix that for people like me who don't have a crappy connection, but every so often it still kind of is iffy. But again, with Smash Brothers only, it gets weird, and it just, not that it doesn't work altogether, but like, I was watching my brother play a few days ago, and like, there was button lag, he was saying, and like all that kind of stuff, which it's been a consistent problem throughout trying to play on Brawl and playing on Wii U. So I'm hoping that with the Switch, they fix that somehow. I don't know, but again, it might be more of a personal, like, it's us here problem. I don't know. If you guys have had connections like that, connection issues with Smash Brothers, like specifically, and none of your other Nintendo games, let me know. So that way we can make sure it's like not just me or whatever, like it's not my copy or whatever of the games. So yeah, number 5, strengthen online stuff. Okay, there's a lot to compact into this number for number 4. I'll try and move a little bit quickly, and hopefully my thoughts stay concise and I don't trail off and start ranting or start whatevering. But number 4, please give us a healthy-ass roster of some awesome characters. And first and foremost, like I was saying from the last game and all that stuff, I love how I keep bringing up the stuff from the last game, and I said I was going to sweep it under the rug and be done with it, but I keep bringing it back, although for this time it's more for comparison's sake and less to bitch and complain. So with the roster, especially for this one, I'm hoping that first and foremost they try and bring back a more strong focus on Nintendo characters, because seeing as the last 3, like before, or the first 3 I should say, before Wii U and 3DS, it was that, like, back when Fire Emblem was obscure as shit, and Smash Brothers single-handedly was the one that brought that series into the limelight over here in the US. So you can still do stuff like that with, like, you know, I would be okay, I should say. I'm not saying like I'm the one bossing them around, but I would be fine with you know, bringing in other Japanese Nintendo exclusive stuff and trying to, you know, push that and bring it to the limelight for Smash Brothers, using Smash as the catalyst for it, seeing as it worked with Fire Emblem and all that stuff. But it's weird because with the last one with Wii U, they dared to go a little bit more out there and try and, you know, represent and show support for these other companies that they were teaming up with to do stuff with. Namco, you got Pac-Man, and then you got Capcom with Mega Man and just like all these other characters, Cloud and Bayonetta and all of that stuff. And so it just got really like, oh, okay, so we're getting all kinds of third-party people and all of that stuff in here now. And to me anyway, like personally, it's a personal thing. To me, I felt, bless you, like they got a little out of hand with it, and that's me. If you don't think that, that's fine. I feel like it took the focus away from, a little bit anyway, just a little bit, of what made Smash Brothers unique in that, okay, we're not doing the guest character thing, we're not doing, because all these other, Mortal Kombat does it in spades, Soul Calibur's been doing it as of late, and even Tekken's doing it now. And I was like, okay, so, and it's fine to, you know, have these epic crossovers in this way that's like, oh, I would never have imagined this Final Fantasy guy being in a Tekken game, or whatever else, you know? But like, with Smash Brothers, it's very specific in that there's this big band of original characters all from this one company, and that's insane already as it is. But like, now you're bringing these other guys and it loses a tiny bit of its identity, being called Super Smash Brothers, being based off of Super Mario Brothers, being one of the biggest Nintendo franchises of all time. And that was what made it cool, is this Nintendo All-Stars fighting each other. But now you got Pac-Man and Sonic and Mega Man, and it feels weird to me still to see that you've got Mega Man fighting Pac-Man in a Smash Brothers game, or Bayonetta fighting Jigglypuff or something. I don't know. Again, I'm going off topic. Anyway, you already know that they're going to bring in some more third-party people, hopefully some new ones this time around. I still just personally don't feel like someone like Bayonetta or Cloud really fit into the Smash Brothers world. But two characters that I have to mention, one of them I've been mentioning for the longest time, and the other one can come in, has a second chance at trying to come into a Smash Brothers game. Shantae I will always fight for because she fits the world. She's cartoony enough to match this wacky, crazy world of Nintendo characters. And before you say, well, she's like indie or whatever, so you're kind of being a bit hypocritical, I don't see her as indie. I see her as third party, because WayForward has been with Nintendo making games for their platforms ever since the Game Boy Color, because that's where Shantae made her debut. So, and Pirate's Curse is on the Switch now. So she's been with like Nintendo consoles, even though she is multi-platform, like forever now. So it baffled me that she did not make it into the last game, because while it was in development with its DLC and all that, Half Genie Hero came out, so I was like, there you go, a perfect chance to represent WayForward by putting in Shantae as a playable character, or at least a fucking trophy, or a DLC assist trophy, or some kind of representation, but it didn't happen. So, and I'm saying Shantae specifically of all the franchises and stuff that they have, like Mighty Switch Force and all that, because Shantae's like their flagship character. So, again, she would fit, and her gameplay would be super unique. So there you go. I'm gonna push it again. I want to see Shantae in Smash Brothers for Switch. Not just that though, but Crash for Smash is still a thing. So with that being said, seeing as Insane Trilogy is coming to the Switch, at this point, since Crash is back, he seems to be back at the peak of his popularity that we haven't seen since the Naughty Dog days. Meaning that, like, you know, all this merch is everywhere and it's not rare shit to find. And it's just, you know, there's a lot of positivity going around Crash this time around, and it's awesome. With that being said, seeing as he is that big of a character now, again at this point, it would make sense, I suppose. I'm still like on the fence of like, do I want to see him in there? I mean, I would want to see how they'll go about representing him. Like, they'll probably give him his Insane Trilogy look and take, you know, they gotta take the spin, and maybe even, hopefully, if they get their minds in there and give us, because Titans Wonder Mutant were on the Wii, so therefore Nintendo consoles, therefore you can pull from that. You can really pull from anything that they've done outside of Naughty Dog, technically, because everything else is multi-platform, and it's been on Nintendo consoles. So, there's that. Again, unique playstyle, hella unique playstyle. So yeah, Crash for Smash could still very much be a thing. Third party. Shantae, I consider third party. Super unique art style. Well, yeah, but also gameplay style. That's basically it. Like, you know that other guest characters will very most likely come into this. Who will that be? I don't fucking know. But, number 4, just hopefully, I can't say hopefully make it good, because, I mean, it's subjective for the most part for who makes it in, who wanted this character, who wanted that character, and whatever else, but we'll see what happens. Number 4. On the subject of characters still, number 3 goes to specifically the veterans. Please revamp all of the veterans, because we're already seeing that with Mario and Link. Well, we haven't really seen it with Mario, because with the Shadowy Shadow, it's just him. But why would they hide Mario and Shadow? If not just to be like, look, it's a joke because you obviously know the fucking silhouette, but he's epic. It's all in Smash Brothers. It's epic. My theory, and everyone else's theory, is that seeing as they've got Link there too, drenched in shadow, but you can tell it's his Breath of the Wild design, therefore meaning you can go all out in revamping his gameplay style, taking stuff from Breath of the Wild and stuff like that. Will they do the same with Zelda? Will they, since Ganon is back in his beast form in Breath of the Wild, will they take his long, sexy-ass hairstyle from Hyrule Warriors and do that with him? Or will they keep him Twilight Princess? I don't know. But with Mario, I'm thinking revamp him. Give him some Odyssey stuff. They've got to represent Odyssey. Oddity? It'd be an oddity if they didn't represent Odyssey in this game. Saved it. And I don't know. It'd be awesome to see, just because they've been using every era of Smash is meant to represent that specific era of Nintendo with their characters. However, they tend, and because of how iconic those kinds of portrayals of those characters are, seeing as Mario for like the last 3 or so games was mainly taking from 64 and Sunshine, that's about it. So it's time for a revamp. Give him some more Galaxy influence stuff, Odyssey influence stuff specifically as well. And I don't know, I'm thinking Kirby, mix him up again, or I don't know. It really depends for every single character, but I want to see a revamp. Like, Peach still has her fucking Mario Brothers 2 moves that she's had from Melee. So, like, revamp her a bit, do something else, do something new. I don't know what, but that's what Nintendo's there for, to make up some awesome ideas. With that also being said, please give every veteran a new Final Smash, because that was one thing that did legitimately disappoint me from Wii U, is that I was expecting all the veterans to have a new Final Smash. Mix it up, we've seen this stuff already, and only like a handful of them got a new Final Smash. And I was like, okay, it feels lazy that you didn't finish the job and give everyone a new one. So hopefully they do that with this one. I'm not here to speculate on ideas for every specific cast character. That's your guys' job to do, so go ahead and speculate. What would you like to see all these other characters, these veterans, have revamped Final Smashes? What would they be? But I would like to see that, so that's number 3. Okay, number 2, story mode. I want to see a story mode, come on. So, it was another disappointment from Smash Wii U. I was like, look at these cinematics from the trailers for the character newcomers and stuff. Like, how cool would it be to have that for story mode? They didn't do that because they were like, well, we don't want people to leak out the cinematics, and yet the character roster got leaked out. So, no Mystique, no whatever, because people can fucking wait. That's also, let me just kind of go off topic now intentionally. That's why I'm glad that they said, okay, for this one, for Smash Switch, we are not showing fucking shit. We're not showing anything. Except for E3, where they're going to start showing stuff, but nothing will be shown, or talked about, or teased, or rumored, or whatever, until they're ready. And they're going to make sure they keep it to maybe specific people on the team who won't fucking leak shit out. So however leaks like that get out to begin with, they're going to make sure that it doesn't happen with this one. Thank God. With that being said, please give us story mode. That way your cinematics won't get leaked, and you'll make sure they won't, and stuff like that. I feel like it was so epic in Brawl to see all these characters in this story mode come together. Like, yeah, none of them talked, but they didn't have to get their actions across. You still understood what they were doing, and you already know who the characters are. That's what Smash Bros. Is all about, celebrating the history in this fighting game, and of each character, each franchise, and stuff like that. So you know these characters, you know they would act this way, they would do this. They don't have to say what they're doing or say what they're feeling or what they're thinking. They're just going to go ahead and do it and pantomime it out in these kinds of, cinematics, and you'll get what they're doing. Brawl was excellent with that, with Subspace Emissary. So I was hoping for something like that from the last game. Didn't get it. Please give us something like that in this one. It's something to at least consider, seeing as you were considering it for the last one. Please do it. That's all I have to say. Number 2, give us a story mode. Make it awesome. With the Inklings in here now, and whatever other newcomers are going to bring in, you can make it cool. And give us some other crazy-ass awesome boss. Master Core was actually a really cool concept, but again, they didn't have a story mode to explain why Crazy Hand or Master Hand, whichever one it was doing this shit, and then just boof, it exploded from him. What? Why did that happen? You could have explained it in story mode. Anyway, number 2. Yeah, okay, so this one's probably gonna be a little controversial, but please don't do a Smash Ballot again. The last one was just awful. It was atrocious. You had to have expected this to happen, guys. People were gonna say, put in fucking Goku, put in Shrek and SpongeBob, and with that being said, and seeing as that was happening, they didn't show us anything. Like, they revealed it was Bayonetta, yeah, and then they said, the reason how we came to this conclusion was the fact that she was #1 in Europe and overall around the world. I'm like, are you sure? Because I'm pretty sure that other characters had a better chance than fucking Bayonetta. Not only that, but you didn't show us the results in any shape or form. So like, we have no way of proving that that's really where it came down to, and that's how Bayonetta got chosen. Like, I just feel like Sakurai was like, well, I can have fun with the character, and she'll still show her tits and ass, and that's really it. And it's like, no! Oh, like, yeah, sure, her fighting style could be unique and whatever, but you know the character. You know how the character gets represented in her own series, let alone in her fucking trailer in here. They show her ass! And it's not like, it's just, it's fan service, and that kind of shit, in a game like this, where it does happen. I mean, you got fucking Zero Switch Samus over here, but like, no, I mean, come on. That's not what this series is about. But, if you're gonna do it, which something tells me they will, who am I to say, I said no, so don't do it. I'm just saying, I would rather they not. But, if they're gonna do it, please filter it out to where those dumbass, like, Goku ones and whatever else, like, just fuck all that, whatever. Because Sakurai himself said, like, keep it to where these characters debuted in the video game, and they're video game characters. How did you not accommodate for this? Make sure there's a kind of a filter that people on your team can fucking work on to make sure that legitimate answers get pushed through. Not only that, but show the results this time. I would like to see some kind of a, well, in the direct, or whatever it happens, if a Smash Ballot for Switch happens, and then this character was announced, this was the one you all wanted for Smash, and this is how it happened, and then they just show these kinds of results and whatever, not the actual business-ass results of whatever kind of paperwork they have to do for this shit, or however that works, but like kind of show some sort of representation of the US said this character, and then the other countries and regions said these characters, and then show us little graphs kind of like, okay, and then boom, there's the character that you chose, and there's the results. Something, I don't know. I'm just reaching out here, but like, it just came as such a bam, it just happened, and there it is, a slap, and it's Bayonetta now. So, congratulations. And I was like, I don't know who asked for this, because I know I sure as hell didn't. A lot of us were thinking other characters that made more sense. I don't know. I mean, it didn't feel like, to me anyway, again, to me, it didn't feel like this was the character that everyone chose for, everyone wanted to be represented in the Smash Brothers franchise, where in the latest game of the franchise, where it's all these crazy all-stars fighting each other, and it's Bayonetta. So like, again, I'm not ranting, I'm just saying, that's how it kind of felt like in that era of a few years ago. But if they're gonna do it again, put more of a kind of a filter or something, like pay more attention to the legit answers and show us results, because I don't know, like it just felt so like, okay, there she is, it's Bayonetta, this is what everyone wanted, right here, and it was weird, to say the least, for me. So I don't know, it's just my thoughts. I don't know, but we'll see what happens. I would just rather they not do it again for this one, but if they do, find some way to fix it somehow, the process. That's it. Okay, so yeah, those are my hopes, my expectations, mainly hopes. I'm hoping that they take these kinds of things into consideration. No one from Nintendo is gonna watch this, but I'm just a guy voicing thoughts for this fighting game. Smash Brothers is an awesome fighting series to me, and I love it a lot because I started with Melee. Melee was one of the first Nintendo games I ever played, so Smash Brothers holds a special place in my heart in terms of Nintendo gaming. It's just that the last one felt like a weird installment. Hopefully with this one, seeing as it's not a port, they're gonna start revamping stuff again, and hopefully they just take bits and pieces and stuff from these other games, and they're gonna take from Wii U, you already know it, and bring it in. Like 8-player Smash can still work in this Switch game, and other stuff like that. Sure, third-party characters will still make an appearance, I already know it, and guest characters and whatever else. But we'll just see. We'll see what happens. These are just my hopes of, like, they could do it this way. I don't want them to do this, or however all of this is going to work. So we'll see. What do you guys think of this stuff? What are your thoughts and views and hopes for Smash Switch? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm Marcelo. See you guys later. Take care.